Before men wrote their laws, before kings forged crowns, there were runes carved in bone, in stone, in blood. Each symbol a whisper of the divine, each stroke a spark of creation. Today the world has forgotten their names, but the fire remembers. Hey everyone, we think of language as words on a page, right? Alphabets, sentences, grammar. But what if I told you about a language that wasn't invented but discovered? A language not of words, but of raw, cosmic power. Today we're journeying back into the mists of time to uncover the runes of fire, the forgotten language of the gods. Long before the quill touched parchment, the ancients spoke to the world through marks and signs. Not words, but meanings. The first runes were not written, they were discovered. They were found in the heart of storms, in the cracks of thunder, in the flow of rivers, and the whisper of trees. Think about it. The jagged line of a lightning bolt, the spiral of a galaxy, the branching of a tree root. These weren't just random shapes. To our ancestors, they were messages. Each rune was seen as a piece of the cosmic pattern, a fragment of the breath of Rod, the Slavic creator deity, the life force that moves through all realms. To the people of the Iron Age, to carve a rune was to strike a pact with the unseen. It was a profound, almost terrifying act. Each stroke demanded respect, for to misuse a rune was to awaken its wrath. This wasn't just writing your name. It was invoking the very essence of what that rune represented. Imagine a world where the gods aren't distant figures in the sky, but active forces, communicating through the very fabric of reality. This was the world of the rune masters. They weren't just scribes. They were seers, magicians, conduits between our world and the divine. They studied the patterns in nature, meditated for days, seeking the visions that would reveal the rune's true forms and powers. One legend tells of a seer who sought the rune for truth. He climbed the highest mountain and waited, not eating, not sleeping, for 9 days and 9 nights. On the 9th night, a storm of impossible fury broke out. A bolt of lightning struck the rock face before him, and when the light faded, there it was, a single, stark, vertical line, etched and glowing in the stone. That was the rune. It wasn't something he made up. It was a truth revealed by the heavens themselves. This is why the runes were called the language of the gods. It was their handwriting, scrawled across creation. But as ages passed, this connection began to fade. The rise of new empires, new religions, and new alphabets pushed the old ways into the shadows. The rune masters were persecuted, their knowledge deemed heretical, dangerous. The language of the gods was deliberately suppressed, dismissed as primitive superstition. The stones were buried, the scrolls burned. The whispers of the divine grew silent. For centuries, the runes lay dormant, a forgotten power sleeping beneath the earth. The world moved on, building cities of steel and glass, believing it had outgrown the old magic. We created languages of logic, of science, of code. We learned to speak to machines, but we forgot how to speak to the mountains. But some things can't be erased. The fire remembers. In recent times, archaeologists, historians, and spiritual seekers have begun to unearth this lost knowledge. We're finding that these primitive symbols hold a sophisticated understanding of psychology, nature, and the human spirit. They are keys not just to a forgotten past, but to a deeper part of ourselves. Each rune is a gateway. Fehu, the rune of wealth, isn't just about gold, it's about abundance, nourishment, and the flow of energy. Ansus is the rune of divine breath, of inspiration and communication. Thurisaz represents the thorn, a force of chaos and defense. They are archetypes, universal concepts that resonate with us even today. So the next time you see a jagged crack in the pavement or the pattern of frost on a window, pause for a moment. You might just be looking at a letter in the forgotten language of the gods, a rune of fire, waiting for someone to remember how to read it. The flame of perception. Runes were never just a language, they were mirrors. They reflected the soul of the one who used them. When you carve Kinaz, the rune of the torch, you're not just summoning fire. You become it. The spark isn't just in the wood, it's in your will. The flame isn't just for sight, it's the fire of perception burning away illusion. It's the sudden flash of an idea, the warmth of understanding. It's the clarity you find after walking through darkness. You see, the ancients understood this power. It is said that when Odin, the Allfather, hung from Yggdrasil, the great world tree, for 9 long nights pierced by his own spear, Gungnir, he wasn't just suffering, he was sacrificing himself to himself. In that agony, suspended between the worlds, the runes didn't just appear. They revealed themselves to him in visions born of pain and ultimate revelation. They weren't gifts handed down from on high, they were earned, forged in the crucible of sacrifice. Each symbol, a universe of meaning. Fehu, the rune of wealth, wasn't just about gold but about the flow of energy, of sustenance. Uruz, the wild ox, was the untamable life force within you, your raw primal strength. Thurisaz, the thorn, was both a warning and a weapon, the power to defend and to destroy. They were a cosmic map, a guide to a life lived with intention. The lost art now the runes lie silent, not because their power faded, not because they died, but because we forgot how to listen. We scroll and we swipe, our thumbs tracing meaningless patterns on glass. We speak fast and we forget even faster. Our words are disposable, lost in an endless digital stream. But the symbols remain. They are carved into the very roots of our language, hiding in plain sight. They echo in our instincts, in that gut feeling, in that shiver down your spine. They are waiting to awaken once more. Think about it. The rune algiz, the elk sedge, is pure protection. It's that instinct you feel when you raise your hand to shield your face. That primal urge to protect those you love. It's the shape a person makes when reaching for the heavens. The rune Sawilo is the sun victory, the lightning bolt of pure will. It's the feeling of accomplishment, of standing tall after a hard-won battle. The runes whisper still. You can hear them if you pay attention. They're in your heartbeat when you face a fear. They're in the quiet strength you find in moments of loss. They are in the fire of creation when you build something new. The Iron Age isn't gone. It isn't a dusty chapter in a history book. It lives wherever truth is spoken without fear, wherever a promise is kept, wherever courage overcomes despair. The call of the ancients. So listen, wanderer, listen. When the world grows loud and its noise tries to deafen you, return to silence. Find a quiet place. In the forest, by the sea, or in your own mind. When you seek wisdom, look not to the glitter of gold or the promises of screens. Look to the old things, to the stone that holds the memory of eons, to the fire that transforms and purifies, to the wind that carries the whispers of the past. Carve your words with intent. Let them have weight, let them be true. Live as if every breath were a rune, a sacred mark you are leaving upon the world. Live with purpose because the gods still watch. The ancestors are still listening. And the fire still burns, the runes never die. They wait in silence for the hands that remember how to carve meaning from chaos. Which rune speaks to your soul? Tell me. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and write your opinion. Thanks for watching.